Okay, so today we're going to complete the square so we can find the vertex of a quadratic function. So the function we are starting with is f of x equals negative 3x squared plus 12x minus 17. The first step in completing the square is that we need to make sure the two terms with the variables are grouped together and that the leading coefficient of the x squared term is 1. So right now there is a negative 3 in front of the x squared term, so we are going to factor it out of both the x squared term and the 12x term so that we are able to complete the square. So to factor out, we're going to write what we choose to factor out. Then we're going to start a parenthesis. If I factor out negative 3 out of the squared term, we're left with x squared. If we factor negative 3 out of the 12x term, we're left with negative 4x. Okay, so in order to complete the square, we're going to leave a blank here because we need to figure out what needs to be added in to make a perfect square. And at the same time, we're still left with negative 17, and I'm going to add another blank after negative 17. So in order to complete the square, we need to force what's in our parentheses to be a perfect square trinomial. So if you remember the formula, we are going to divide the b term by 2. That's going to give us negative 2. And then to figure out what needs to make it a perfect square, we need to add negative 2 squared to both parts of our equation. So we could see we need to add in 4 to both sides of our equation. Okay, but remember, this positive 4 we added in does not just represent 4. There is a negative 3 out in front. So this really represents negative 12. And since we're working on one side of the equation, we need to think what will keep the adding of negative 12 in balance. So we need to add 12 to our other side. Okay, so right now we have f of x equals negative 3. We can write what's inside the parentheses as x minus 2, quantity squared, and then we just simplify negative 17 plus 12, getting negative 5. So this is now in vertex form. So f of x equals negative 3 times x minus 2 squared minus 5. And the vertex for this, remember, is that x's lie to you. So if it's in with the x, it lies. So since it's negative 2, it's really positive 2. And y tells the truth. So the vertex is at 2, negative 5.